think in London 2012 we had such a clear vision for hosting the Olympics. We wanted to inspire a generation. I think then we wanted to do it and do it right. So all of the bodies who were given the role of putting together the stadiums, putting together the team, employing all the volunteers, did a great job of doing that. And then we within Team GB wanted to have our greatest team. And so we did that as well as we could. And then everyone who came gave everything they could and was passionate about it on the day. But it was because we cared about the whole event. And we cared about it because I think we had good leadership. And for me, that's the lesson we can take from it. Good leaders give people reasons to care. And when you've got a reason to care, you work harder. So rowing as a 40-year-old in a team of 20-somethings in the Great Britain 8 in London meant that I think I had to be a lot better at listening than I was at talking, because I've already got about a year when they were keen to hear my wise words, but I soon became a bit of an old man, and I think I had to really listen in and think what was important to each individual in the team. And I think to get good relationships, I needed to listen, and I needed to think, what are they in it for? Why are they here? And what do they bring? And then try to create situations and opportunities for them to be the best they could be. And if that meant that I had different ideas, it wasn't to say my ideas were any better because I was older. And in fact, I was really better to come in alongside their ideas and support them, because sometimes I realised they weren't going to change, but I knew I could, and I needed to. Big learning for me in London 2012 that the coach of the British rowing team wasn't doing what I would have done if I'd been the coach of the British rowing team. But I think the wisdom of a 40-year-old made me realise he probably wasn't going to change, and he might even be right. And so I was better to shut my mouth, sign up, and get on and do what we were doing, because otherwise I would have been, I guess, a negative person de-energising the team, and that would only have made us go slower. So I think there's a point where I could have a say, and I would try to have an adult conversation with our head coach, but then the time came and we were beyond the point of no return, and I was then ready to sign up and do the very best that I could. And by doing that, I got to be more consistent than I'd ever been in my career before, and got to get a result that I certainly feel very proud of. And you're never going to know whether you could have done better, but I feel very proud of what I did. In every situation we're going to face setbacks, and sometimes the support around us is fantastic, sometimes we find we're out on our own. And I think for me it was a case of looking inside, realising that you're not only as good as your last performance, you're not only as good as your last race or your last set of figures, you're as good as everything that you've done in the past. And sometimes the coach, the leader, might berate you, might not be happy with you, but I think you have to look for the strength within to say, I'm not going to feel bad about this, I'm going to take it on board, I'm going to learn to do things differently, but I'm not going to beat myself up, and then I'll come back stronger and I'll learn the lessons and I'll be better. And I guess it's ultimately saying, if I haven't succeeded, then that's a chance to learn how I'm going to succeed and be better next time.